Hello everybody and welcome back to another BrickFair Virginia overview. In this video I will show you some of my favorite mocks from BrickFair Virginia 2025. We're going to start off with one of the largest sections, which was the LEGO Star Wars section. Here you'll find many different mocks such as battlefields, dioramas, and vehicles. One of the best mocks in the Star Wars section has to be this huge X-Wing. This mock consisted of around 9,000 pieces and truly made an amazing display. Also in the Star Wars section was this really cool Clone Wars build from the season finale of the Clone Wars, and this is actually a scene that I animated not too long ago, and you can check out a stop motion of that on my channel page. As you've seen in the last few clips, there were a lot of Star Wars mocks that were recreating certain scenes from different movies, but I think one of the best has to be the Star Wars Trench Run done in the style of Scooby-Doo. The color scheme really makes for a unique mock, and I love all the different uses of lighting. Also in the Star Wars section was this huge Death Star mock. It looked something like what I imagined the new $1,000 Death Star could look like. It was also so big that it could even house the $800 Millennium Falcon. Next in the Star Wars section was this motorized pod racer mock. With a lot of other motorized mocks, you'll notice that designers will often use track pieces to give builds motion. However, in this build, the designer cleverly hid the mechanism inside of a mountain, which I thought was a really good idea. Next up is the LEGO Cities section. I always love taking a look at the different mocks and modular buildings that are in this section, as I always get some great inspiration from my own LEGO city. As you'll see, the designers used a lot of existing LEGO modulars and modified quite a few of them. If you want to see more LEGO City content, just stay tuned on my channel because I will be making my very first LEGO City tour, and from there on, LEGO City updates. Next up in this section was a recreation of Jurassic Park. This was an amazing build that spanned dozens of base plates and really had a lot of detail packed into every corner. Another location recreation, which was right across from the Jurassic Park, was this recreation of Disneyland's Epcot. This was an amazing build, and some of the techniques used here were absolutely incredible. I also love the functioning monorail. Moving on, there were also a few noticeable Batman builds, such as this Arkham Asylum. Another Batman build was this recreation of the Batcave, which also featured a Batman-style Millennium Falcon. Moving on to the military section, which was by far one of the largest, I saw this Battle of Galicia recreation. I really loved how the designer chose to go with a brick-built design for the horses rather than using the molded piece that LEGO offers. One of the largest mocks in this section was a recreation of Desmond Doss's heroic actions at Hacksaw Ridge. The designer really managed to capture a lot of action in this mock, and I really love all the gribbling techniques used on the side. were quite a few of these mocks that were taking place in snowy regions, and one technique I really appreciated in those was the use of brown 1x1s to make imprints in the snow representing footprints by the soldiers. In addition to the large warship you just saw, there were also a lot of smaller recreations of different World War II, World War I, and modern military vehicles. Moving on to the NASA section, there were dozens of different recreations and models such as Artemis, the Apollo lunar lander, and Saturn V. One of the last sections at BrickFair VA 2025 was the movie section. This section included many different recreations from pop culture and different movies. By far the best build out of all the movie-inspired builds was this Earthling Tower. It was absolutely huge and included dozens of minifigures as well as working lights. Although there was not as many Harry Potter builds as there have been in past years, this is one that did catch my eye, being a recreation of the Great Hall. Finishing off the build section of this video, we have one of my favorite builds, which is a recreation of the School of Athens by Raphael. Moving on to the vendor section, there were dozens of amazing vendors that had a variety of sets and minifigures, including some custom pieces. Ella's minifigure stand, as usual, had some amazing custom builds and minifigures, such as this AT-OT with dropship. I did end up getting quite a few of their custom clones as well as official LEGO clones. These will be going into my clone army, which you can see an overview of on my channel page. As usual, the Brick Slottle stand had dozens of amazing custom minifigures and retired sets. Another major staple of BrickFair has to be these custom printed signs and accessories. I always make sure to get quite a few custom printed signs for my LEGO City. As you can see here, Eclipse Graphics had no shortage of custom printed pieces, ranging from movie posters to album covers to street signs. In addition to buying some things from all these amazing vendors, I also did a trading challenge of my own. I started off with the Paz vs. Moff Gideon battle, which in hindsight was not a very good set to pick because most of the vendors told me they already had thousands of these waiting to be sold. However, I did manage to find one seller who was willing to trade, and he gave me this set, which was a Target exclusive. After acquiring the set, vendors were much more willing to do trades. I ended up trading this one set for these two buildable figures, being Wolverine and Kylo Ren, at this stand here. Let me know if you think these were good trades. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.